What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Alright, today we're going to talk about Lushen, okay? So, let's go over his skills. We're going to steer away from just talking about Lushen, but we're going to go over his skills and we're going to see exactly, we're going to talk about it, alright? So, he has a 33% attack power leader ability for dungeons, fine. Throws a number of cards and inflicts damage to all enemies, ignoring their defense, alright? This hits each enemy 3 times, alright? And it completely ignores defense. You do not need weakened defense for it. You don't need anything. You just hit, alright? Summons a surprise box that deals damage and inflicts random weakening effects to all enemies. Alright, so this is just, it's an AoE as well. It doesn't put any weakened defense on it. It puts glancing slow and maybe one other debuff. Glancing slow. Oh, and it stuns as well. Okay, so that's a pretty good skill. It comes out to be very useful. Now, it throws a sharp card to attack and disturbs the enemy's hit point recovery for 2 turns with a 70% chance. All right. So he has a disturb hit point recovery skill in his first skill. Honestly, just build him for all damage. He has an insane amount of damage. This in his first skill is just a plus. And this in his second skill is just a plus as well. What you're looking for is this skill right here. Alright. Now, how do you ruin him? If you're lucky enough to get him in the beginning, you ruin him Fatal Blade, attack, attack, attack. Alright. Now, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me. Unless you can get 55% crit rate on him, I wouldn't suggest doing crit damage on slot 4. Now, the actual standard ruin build for him, without the sets, is attack, crit damage, attack. Alright? Now, a lot of people in this game use him with Seek and Aquila, or Aquila, not End, to buff his crit rate and attack. I mainly use Seek. I don't use Aquila too much. Aquila is another one that's just a plus. He doesn't bring the damage that Seek brings to the table. You know, usually Lushen's best friend is really Seek. I'm telling you right now. You put those two together, and there's not a lot of teams that will survive. All right. Now, for a late game build, it's Rage Blade. Okay. Now, look. Now we're going to steer away a little bit from Lushen. We're going to talk about Rage Blade and Fatal Blade. All right. I'm going to show you 2 different Lushens right now, because I have 2. All right. This is my best Lushen right here. Look at his stats. He has 7,684 plus 7,684 hit points. So he's got about almost 16,000. He's a little shy of 16,000. No, I'm sorry. He's a little shy of 17,000. He's got 2,752 attack. So plus 1,852 attack. Plus 21 speed, plus 225 defense. We really don't care about these. 65% crit rate, 175% crit damage, 24 resistance, 8 accuracy. Alright? This is a Fatal Lushen. This is my best Lushen. Alright? So, here are his runes, by the way. I'll show you guys one of my Lushen's runes. Alright. So, I have a second Lushen to show. This Lushen is Rage Blade, as you guys saw. Now, please consider the fact that my first Lushen that I showed was, what do you call it, fully skilled, and this one isn't fully skilled. Alright, so, these are his stats. His attack is much lower. He has 68% crit rate and 179% crit damage. Now, you see, these runes are really throw-around runes on him. They're not really that great. I tried to get his crit rate as high as possible because I want him critting. Alright, if you miss a crit, it's not worth having all that crit damage with it if you're missing crits. I'm telling you guys right now, especially in the arena. Okay? So, which Lushen do you think... Alright, this Lushen hits much harder than this Lushen. Okay? Now, the mistake I made a few months ago was we had free rune removal. So I took off this Fatal set. I had it on Beth. Okay? I took off that Fatal set and I put it on my second Lushen. This one, the unskilled one. And they were both hitting for around the same. Okay? The thing is, though, that I was like, this can't be happening if they're hitting for the same and one's skilled up and the other one doesn't have a single skill. This one, he has one skill. I'm sorry. Okay, so let me show you how hard he hits. Okay, so this is the best scenario possible for Lushen. Right, we have a wind attack damage plus 30%. All right, and we have a buffer, a crit rate buffer, and an attack buff. Right? Another good thing about using a fatal Lushen with a crit rate with an attack buff is he's multiplying the attack, so you're getting a little bit more out of your attack. All right, so here we'll show one Lushen and then we'll show the other. I technically don't agree that Lushen has to be Rage Blade. He can be Fatal Blade, and I'll show you guys how. Alright? So, take a look at what he's going to do right now, his cards, what his cards are going to be hitting for. So I'm hitting around from 93 to 9400 per card, with him as the leader, with Bernard as the leader. So we'll do another one real quick, and then we'll do it without Bernard as the leader. So, honestly, when you guys are sitting there choosing between Fatal Blade and Rage Blade, whichever set is better overall. You see, he almost did 9,600 on one card. Wow. See, that's not bad at all. All right. So now we're gonna take Bernard out, and we'll leave Seek in there. Why not? No Bernard. We'll just leave Seek. Because I normally don't use him, Bernard and Lushen lead. Well, Bernard lead with Lushen. I usually use a speed lead. So, this is what my Lushen is hitting for, with 30% less. Alright, he's doing about 8,800. My Lushen is actually extremely healthy, also. Having all those hit points, he can take a perna hit, too. One perna hit, not too many. Not too many, unless the perna isn't that great. So the stats between my Rage Lushen and my Fatal Lushen are almost the same. I think it's a 4% crit damage wise and all that, but attack is just so much more crazier. Okay. So we'll bring a double. We'll bring the second Lushen now. Yeah. All right. You know what? We're gonna show it with Bernard lead. I'm gonna show it twice. You're going to see a huge difference right now. But the attack is like huge, the biggest difference. But this is what I'm trying to tell everybody about Rage Blade and Fatal Blade. It's not 100% always Rage Blade. You know? See, he's doing around 7,400 per card. It's not that great. This Lushen can't do Aiden by himself. The other Lushen can farm Aiden without a problem. I just put it on auto and move on. Right, so you see what he's hitting for? He didn't even kill one of the monsters. So guys, I'm telling you, it's whatever set is better. I've heard of Lushens with full energy sets, but all of the energy runes were legendary. And they were hitting around 11 or 12,000 per card. That's probably one of the best Lushens I've ever seen or heard of in my lifetime. 11 to 12,000 per card is insane. So another thing about Lushen, what I didn't mention, is Lushen created his own meta. He's pretty much the meta in the game right now. I mean, people think not, but up until you get to the top 100, most defenses are extremely Lushenable, and people build double Lushen. And like, I don't use double Lushen too much. People tell me I should be using it more than what I do. I usually use my Tyron, Lushen, Seek, and Bernard combo. But it is what it is. All right, so. The whole thing with Lushen's third skill is what created the meta. People create defenses to avoid Lushens because Lushen can pretty much just wipe out your entire team in a turn. So you don't want that to happen. So people build healers with tanky healers with nemesis runes on them, with one set of nemesis runes, not all nemesis. You know, it depends on what the main set has. But usually people put one monster with nemesis runes as an offset, so that they can either with despair or violence. And I don't really see it with Swift, but you can do it with Swift as well. But to try and avoid Lushen. So Lushen also created the meta. People fear Lushen all the time. So you got to be able to get around Lushen comps. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to everybody later.